Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about something that I think is very, very important to a lot of people and has recently over the past couple of weeks been getting a lot more attention. So after the release of the songwriting cover art and the announcement that the Bone season was getting a completely new transformation, it has received a lot of really bad negative attention, but it has also received a lot of positive attention and positive feedback. So I wanted to talk about kind of the importance of cover art and kind of why it's had the reaction that it has, especially with this specific series. So first, it would probably be a good idea to show you the books that I'm actually mostly going to be talking about today. This is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, and this is the My Modder, the sequel. The songwriting comes out next March, the cover art design being changed as well. I will pop up a picture just here of what the new book will look like. So what a lot of people don't understand is why these covers need to be changed. They are gorgeous, gorgeous books. They are absolutely beautiful. I love these designs. I really, really do adore them. But at the same time, I can understand why the publishers have decided to change them. They are very unique designs, and the new ones could be seen as somewhat generic and something you've seen 1,000 times. But I can see why they want to do that a little bit. I mean, they are still unique. I still think they look very unique to the story, and they reflect a lot of the stories that happen in both of these novels. And then I'm assuming they will reflect as well the third book. You look at this book and it isn't like anything else in its genre. It doesn't reflect anything similar to any of those other books, which is fantastic, but at the same time, it's not attracting the amount of readers that it should. It's an incredible series. It really, really is. I absolutely adore these books. They mean a lot to me. But they don't get enough attention, and I don't think they get the attention that they deserve by a long shot. So I can see why these new covers would draw in more readers. When I see these new covers, the instant that I saw these new covers, I was reminded of a lot of famous series. First and second books are also getting a redesign. This is what they will look like. I don't like them personally. What I do like is that they still have that same symbolism. So I wanted to talk about a few of the series that these books do remind me of, just briefly, before I kind of go into a bit more detail about the Bone Season series. First book that I was kind of reminded of when seeing this new release was The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. So I don't have the new versions. These are the old editions of the book. There have been several redos of these editions in several different countries, but I was reminded of them because of the emblems and the significance of the Mockingjay that reflects the Hunger Games trilogy. The emblems that represent each different book in the Bone Season series, what I see as the most important part of these novels' representations. So another one that I was reminded of, not because of its plot, but because of its cover design, was Throne of Glass. The Bone Season is a fantasy dystopian novel. Throne of Glass is a high fantasy novel. I think because a lot of books now are being released with these white covers, it attracts the same kind of attention. It attracts the same fans. That's what I think is very important about the white covers. They may be seen as generic, they may be seen as something that is obviously reminiscent of a book that it's not technically very similar to. So they're not very similar, I understand that. I'm not saying that they are very similar. What I'm saying is they will attract the same audience. Whenever you read a certain type of book and it's resonated with you, you don't just think about the story, you don't just go to a bookshop and look for the blurb, you also look for the cover. And I think that the problem with the Bone Season is it doesn't reflect any of that genre. It's very, very individual and very unique, and I love them for it, I really do. But at the same time, you're not going to attract the right amount of readers that it deserves. So another one that I was reminded of was Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. Again, white cover, again, crown emblem. It's very significant to the story, which is what I really do like about these new cover designs that are coming out recently. A lot of new releases are graphic designs or they are symbolism related cover designs, and I really, really like them. Although I do sometimes appreciate the significance of having a model on the front to represent a particular character in the novel, sometimes I think it can disrupt the reader's imagination. As Samantha Shannon had said about her books when she was going through the initial publishing stage, she said, no models, absolutely not, no models on the cover of my books because I don't want it to influence the imagination of the reader, which they both have similar traits. I wouldn't say that they were similar in any other way, again, other than the strong female protagonist. But sometimes that is exactly what someone is looking for. The next one is Divergent by Veronica Roth. I am thinking of the reimagined covers, the second release editions, which I will put a picture of up here. The significance of the emblems perfectly explain these novels. We have those kinds of worlds that are falling apart, the government is wrong, the structure is wrong, and it's up to a particular type of person to defend against that. It's up to that person to take down this governmental structure that is just, it's forced upon the majority of civilization. They are similar in that way, but again, completely different stories. If you were to see the new covers of The Bone Season and The Mime Order and The Song Rising, you would pick them up knowing that they are going to be similar in its genre, and that is what is important. They will attract more readers. I just wanted to explain kind of why this book is so important to me. Bone Season was released August 2013, which was right in the middle of my time at college, so I had a year left before I was going off to university, and it was at that time where I'd started planning my first novel and I was trying to get everything down on paper. But I was also very, very upset about it because I genuinely didn't feel like if I were to finish this novel during university and at the end of it I was ready to send it off and to take that next step in my career as an author, I didn't think that I would be taken seriously. I was speaking to my mum about it and she was telling me, it doesn't matter that much. You don't have to worry so much about your age, and I just didn't believe it. I send this novel off. I go and meet this literary agent who has taken the time to meet me. I just didn't genuinely think that would be taken seriously. I didn't think that my opinion would be valued despite it being my own book. It genuinely did worry me. And the next day, she came home with this book. She had spent the entire day at work researching young authors and authors that are published straight out of university, and she had that faith in me. She brought this home and she said to me, this is what you could be. This could be your future. After reading it, I immediately fell in love with this book. So different to anything that I've ever read before, but it also resonated with my own interests. My mum knew this. She had gone out of her way to find this book for me. I'd heard nothing about it. It had only been out for a few months. I could accept that, so it wasn't as popular. It isn't as popular as it deserves to be, and it means so much to me as an aspiring writer, but also as a reader. That is why this is so important to me. It's also why the comments that I've seen thrown about on Twitter and Instagram and Tumblr and WordPress and Facebook really do upset me, because I think it's just completely unnecessary to be arguing with each other over it. So yes, the book covers are absolutely gorgeous. They really are. I am not arguing against that. I love them. And although I'm disappointed to see this colour scheme disappear, I'm happy that the symbolism is staying in place. And I feel like I need to stress even more how insignificant the aesthetics of literature can be and of cover design, when what we as readers should be really appreciating is the actual literature, it's the words. To see so many people so angry about losing out on the artwork and swearing off the entire series, swearing not to continue with the third book just because they're losing the cover, and I really don't understand how someone can feel that way when they're arguing how much they love the series. It makes me quite sad to see this series lose attention because of people not agreeing with the new cover art. I don't understand it. The amount of series out there where people don't like the cover art but continue to read them because they enjoyed the stories, but swearing off this one, it makes no sense. It really doesn't. And I've spoken to so many people about it on Instagram and Twitter, and we agree that we are disappointed, and we may disagree about the way that it should be handled, whether or not the change should go ahead, but we all agree on how incredible the story is, and that should be what matters more than anything. I am more excited to get to carry on with Paige and her journey and see how it all changes over the course of this series than I am to see the covers change. They will probably change again. No one can say how many times a series will have its cover art changed. And I just wish I could see more support for Samantha Shannon as an author. She has absolutely no way to say in this, but what she has said is that she does love the covers and she appreciates the symbolism and that they do represent her book tremendously. And I hope that we can all come together as a community and accept that despite this change, the book is still being released. I would rather see this series continue with a different cover scheme than flop because it didn't get as many readers as it should have. It's my opinion. I'm not criticising anyone else's opinion. I'm trying to stay between the two views. I disagree with a lot of comments that are being thrown about there, but I also understand the emotion and the disappointment that is attached to this decision, and we will just have to see how it goes, I guess. And I would be really, really disappointed in a lot of people that don't carry on with this series simply because of the cover art change. The only person that it's going to hurt is the author. That is the person that we owe our love for this series to, so I think we just need to keep that in mind. I understand that the aesthetics are a huge part of books now, of booktube and bookstagram and book bloggers. I understand how important it is being one of those people, but at the same time, the story is what's important. So buy the ebook, carry on with the series, buy the paperback, and then sell it again. It doesn't matter. Just don't stop reading the books just because you don't like the art change. I understand that a lot of people only buy hardback covers, and that is one of the reasons why it's so upsetting to see this one change, especially if you don't like it and you want to carry on buying the books. The only hardbacks that I have are gifts, so every hardback that you've seen in these videos have been bought for me as gifts. I don't think I've ever paid for my own hardback because I can't afford it. I would rather spend the money on 3 paperbacks than 1 hardback because it means that I get more out of my reading. I would never criticise anyone for being disappointed with the hardbacks because that is a completely other side of it, and that's not what I want to comment on today because I cannot relate to that kind of emotion. Like I said, my mum bought me this one. I did have to wait for the paperback because it's the only one that I could afford. Let's remain that calm, loving, bookworming community that we have built. Books are incredible, book cover art is incredible. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you do want to subscribe to my channel as well, I upload videos every Tuesday, and I really do look forward to chatting more about these kinds of issues with you guys.